Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. It is the last day of July. It is the 31st of July, and we are halfway through what I would like to call the hot and sweaty season. July and August, we are halfway through. We have a hot and sweaty show for you today. As you can see, the title of the show today is FOMC Day, because the FOMC Day is the most important day in the history of crypto, and it is every single month. So we are going to go through what that means for crypto possibly today. We're going to have a look at the charts. Obviously, we're going to look at the markets. We're going to look at some X-Files, including a very nice one about monkeys fighting. We're going to look at the Bitcoin reserves falling, angry Brad Garlinghouse, Russia, California, the SEC backtrack, and a very important segment today. We're going to be talking about the Cycle Network. I have made a video about this yesterday, and I'm going to be honest, it's the hardest video I've ever made. And the reason is that I had to try and explain a very tricky concept in under 12 minutes. That's what I try and do for the videos, 12 minutes, 10, 12 minutes. And I think I did an okay job. So we're going to go through it today on the stream, and that's about chain abstraction, which sounds really complicated, but believe you me, it isn't. So we're going to talk about that today. A few good mornings to the very few people in chat. Since the weekend, since we've come back, I do not know, people are on holiday, people have given up on crypto, retail has finally lost, but we are down about 2/3 of our normal traffic. It's incredible. The chalk and cheese. 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were getting probably 5 times the number of viewers we were getting the last few days. It's incredible. But a few good mornings to Tariq, Hidden Agenda, Disclose Crypto, Gaga Gary. Yes, Gary Network. We do cover it on the channel from time to time, and I have made a video about it as well. As you can see, bottom left-hand corner, we are at 151,206 followers. We're trying to get to 200,000 by the end of the year. If it carries on the way it is going, we are going to get nowhere near. So if you are new here, if you are new to Crypto Warehouse, please do me a massive favor and follow us. Make sure to tick the follow button, the subscribe button, whatever buttons you've got in front of you, press them. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps us massively. So let's get on then. Let's have a look at some charts. Let's see where we are. Since the rejection that I highlighted on Monday, we still haven't fully recovered. Now again, I am not some kind of soothsayer. I said if we get rejected at 70,800, I think I said, we will come down. However, I was expecting us to break it, so I am not trying to claim that I have 2020 hindsight. Market cap then coming in at just under 2.4 trillion. Volume down just a touch, still in the 60-70 billion dollar range. Dominance hasn't really changed, it's still over 71%. So the market hasn't really moved a great deal. If we look at prices, Bitcoin is down a touch, Ethereum is down a touch, BNB is up, and Solana is up and making some recoveries. XRP, now we're going to talk about Brad today. XRP is starting to make a move. When you see a coin decouple, as XRP is doing now, Bitcoin is down, Ethereum is down, BNB is up a touch, Solana is up a touch, XRP is up 8.5%. This is, in my opinion, the end of the SEC case, if this is true. We've seen it happen before with XRP. It rips up, and then the case was cancelled or whatever happened, and then the price comes crashing back down. So XRP could possibly be on the run towards 70 cents, who knows. Gainers and losers. XRP is the #1 gainer. Casper is up. Stellar, MOG, BNB. Unusual for BNB to be up so much in 24 hours. I know there is a burn going on, and I don't know if they're having another one of their launch pool events yet. Excuse me. Toncoin is up. Aave, Beam, Maker, EOS, and Solana. A few gainers and a few losers. Bitcoin, Jasmy, Athena, Theta, eCash, Akash, Render, Say, ENS, a few losers. Again, it's not the bloodbath that we have seen in recent days. It's not so bad. If you're looking to DCA in, these are not bad prices. I stand by low circulation supply is key. Yearn Finance price $1,000 with low circulation supply. DeFi money $490. And as low circulation max supply, why look for zillions? Good morning, Chris. I do take the point on board. However, you can't value a stock or share based on the numerical value of it. If you look at what Disney have done, if you look at, is it Apple? They have done a stock 1-for-4 trade where when the price of the stock gets too high, they normally divide it by 4. So when the stock price gets to about $1,000, they will issue 4 stocks worth $250 for that one stock. So there is the other argument, which is, I guarantee you that if you showed Bitcoin at $66,000, XRP at 64 cents, and Shiba, if you showed that to retail, which one would they buy? They would buy Shiba. So the other argument is, yes, circulating supply is massively important because you don't want debasement of your crypto. And the debasement of your crypto, for me, is the key, not the actual number of the circulating supply. So Bitcoin, even though Bitcoin is the number one, it's still not got 100% of its circulating supply. So although I take that on board, I don't think it's the be all and end all. I think the circulating supply versus the total supply is equally as important as the market cap. Now then, I made a video today. No, sorry, I made a video yesterday. I've released it today. And this video is about a hit piece that's been done about Solana. And this hit piece is going through why Solana is a scam, why it's a fraud, why everything on Solana is a fraud. And I published it today for the OGs. So if you're an OG, you've got a video to watch after this. This is two tribes of two monkey clans at war, okay? This is what crypto feels like sometimes. We are in an emerging market. We are in an expanding market. And we are fighting like monkeys. Well, we aren't. People are. And it's school ground. It's childish. It's like, build your own chains. All it makes you look is jealous of somebody else. When I see people having a go at Ethereum, or having a go at Bitcoin, or having a go at Solana, it's childish, okay? Yes, I have my own gripes with certain chains, but they are founded on specific reasons. They are not founded on the fact that I am jealous of Toncoin, or I am jealous of Polkadot. I am not jealous of them. I have my reasons for not liking them, and there's a difference. But I don't go out and publicly make videos called Solana is a scam, Ethereum is a scam, Vitalik Buterin is a shiller. I don't make those kind of videos because there's no time in my day to waste energy on those kind of things. So when you see these kind of videos on Solana is a scam or Ethereum is a scam, watch them and learn what you can from them, but don't take them as gospel, because the OG video clearly explains why I think it's a hit piece. And we can go back 12 months to the hit piece after hit piece that was launched at CZ by Sam Bankman-Fried. And then it came out in the wash that all of the press had been bought by FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried, and one owner of a magazine had been paid $2 million to write hit pieces about CZ. So don't believe everything you read. Look at everything with a critical eye. That's important. So I understand it's difficult to do that when you're in a new industry, but human behavior isn't any different. We have been rioting for hundreds and thousands of years. We are still very base level creatures. So when you have rivalries, when you have clans, when you see, football teams are a perfect example of being in a tribe. Those tribes exist in crypto, and I can't stop them, and they'll always be there, but I can still complain about them. Now, this might make you laugh because America goes and buys all the Bitcoin every day. Understand this. even though the Australian Bitcoin ETF has only just hit 100 Bitcoin. This is like buckaroo. We are loading up Bitcoin with these ETFs in Australia. The UK has its own version. Asia, America, North America, they all have, each one of them is chipping away, and eventually Bitcoin will snap. Okay, now, so this is a milestone. It's great. We know BlackRock have 100,000, 200,000. We know that. But the point of the matter is, every one of these is sucking the life out of the supply of Bitcoin. And we're going to talk about that later and what that means, because going back to what Peter was saying about circulating supply and a low circulating supply of the coins, the number of coins on exchanges is also massively important. If you have 1 trillion tokens and there's only 10 million of them to trade, guess what? The price of that token is going to go through the roof. If you have 21 million Bitcoin and all 21 million Bitcoin are on exchanges being traded, it will suppress the price. So again, it comes back to scarcity, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. And these things that are happening are creating scarcity. Okay, a full proof of gem, great potential. Okay, I'll screenshot it. I'll go and have a look at your coin after the stream. Low circulation supply is better. Yeah, I know. Okay, Barry, Mirages, smash the like. Exactly, smash the likes. I don't know how many likes we've got today, but smash them anyway. Right then, let's move on. I'm going to take my time today because yesterday we finished 10 minutes earlier because there was nobody here yesterday. It was me and Tariq, and I think maybe Kishan and Chris were here, and that was it. So we're going to have a chat. Now, this isn't a crypto. This isn't Ponke. This is Microsoft. It is down 7% after the earnings. $100 billion in market cap, gone in seconds. So when people tell you that crypto is high risk and crypto is nothing but big green and big red candles, remember, it happens everywhere. Do we know why this happened? Well, I would imagine, and I am not a rocket scientist, and I am not Sherlock Holmes, but I would imagine this has something to do with the crashed software update that happened, was it 2 weeks ago? All the airports, all the planes were grounded, everything went to pot. I'm trying to think, does it have the name? Is it called something strike? CrowdStrike. So CrowdStrike has caused this, in my opinion. So there is a cause and there is an effect. Let's move on. There's only a couple of these left to go. You're not going to go broke, Peter. The longer you're in crypto, the richer you get. The remarkable thing about celebrity coins is not that they lose 95% within a month, it's they don't have any value at all. Or it's that they have any value at all. Again, understand that celebrity coins and celebrities that pump these cryptos are in it for one thing, and that is to separate you from your money. Okay? So it's a daily reminder. I'm going to try and do one of these a day. There's only really maybe 1 in 20, 1 in 30 of these coins will actually hold any value over a long period of time. Just remember that. Now, something more important. Michael Saylor shared this last night. We now have additional companies coming out and saying we're going to put Bitcoin on our balance sheet as a strategic treasury asset. That is Balfour. I think it's pronounced Balfour, not Bilfour, Balfour. The question is, and I said this on Monday, why are the Maxis getting so upset about Donald Trump not knowing the intricacies of Bitcoin? He doesn't know the intricacies of how the war machine works. He doesn't know the intricacies of how the health service works. You know why? Because he doesn't need to. It doesn't matter to him. Bitcoin at the atomic level doesn't matter to him. He sees it as an emerging asset, and he understands that America needs to play a role in that emerging asset. Okay, so all of those crybabies out there, he didn't say the right things, he didn't say enough, he doesn't know what he's talking about, go away. Okay, I worked this out, I think I said it, I've been studying politics for 32 years. 34 years, sorry. 34 years of my life, I have been following politics. And I can count on one hand how many competent, major leaders of nation states there have been. I can count on one hand, okay? And if you've got one right now, you're lucky. Look at Australia. What's going on? It's a car crash. Look at the UK. We've had terrible, terrible prime ministers for a while. David Cameron was okay. Keir Starmer appears to be okay. Liz Truss was terrible. Germany has gone left wing. Their economy is going to the wall. But they had a previous premier that was okay. France has had previous premiers that have been okay. But don't compare Donald Trump to Einstein. It's not how presidents work. They've had Ronald Reagan. Don't forget that. They had an actor who had a horse called Toto as the president of America. Let's compare Donald Trump to him, shall we? And not being an expert. Now, when Donald Trump says we're going to hold Bitcoin, every single company in America will have heard that. And Bitcoin will be bought for the balance sheets. 10 here, 50 here, 100 here, 20 over there. And suddenly, there's another 50 to 100,000 Bitcoin gone. Understand, it is infinity divided by 21 million. Okay? There are only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoin. Every currency around the world is being printed to infinity. The longer you hold Bitcoin, the more it will be worth. It is a simple calculation. And when you see things like this, be bullish, because this is why you are here. You are here to hopefully change your life on a scale of grey, clearly. You're either here to change your life forever, you're here to pay for your kids' education, you're here to pay for your old age. You're not here for the tech. Let's not fool anybody. This is the important thing. And again, it does somewhat support the argument that Peter has got. Bitcoin exchange reserves have hit multi-year lows. Investors have been pulling Bitcoin, and that could signal a shift to long-term holding. I'm hoping this has got a chart. The Bitcoin exchange reserves have plummeted to 2.8 million coins, their lowest levels in years. This decline comes amid a sustained price surge from Bitcoin as it keeps testing $70,000. This decline in exchange reserves comes at a time when their price was 10% away. Now, let's have a little look at this chart, because this is the important chart. Look at the blue line on this chart. We were over 3.3 million a few years ago. We are now down to 2.8 million. Now, it sounds like an awful lot. Remember, we've had a halving, so there's no more to come. That's it, okay? 400 a day. Just put that number in your head. Every single day that those ETFs buy more than 400 Bitcoin, this will drop. There is no end in sight for when they are going to stop buying 400. We're going to run out of Bitcoin. We do not have enough Bitcoin for everybody who wants it. I cannot stress this enough. The Bitcoin on exchanges is falling. It will only reverse and go up when the price of Bitcoin finds an equilibrium between supply and demand. And it falling on exchanges is a sign that demand outstrips supply. If this corrects to the upside, as it could very well do, and we go back towards 3.2, 3.4 million, we're going to be at a considerably different price for Bitcoin than we are today. So hold your Bitcoin for dear life, okay? You probably don't need to read too much about this. Mt. Gox as well. Again, this is the last real skeleton in the closet. I think they're somewhere in the region of 40% through their distributions. Hasn't made a massive difference to the price of Bitcoin, because those people are the OGs. They were talking about 2014, 2016 that Mt. Gox happened. They've waited all that time. They are the early adopters. Do you honestly think they were going to take that Bitcoin and sell it? No. Looking at the chart, we can see that the spot Bitcoin reserves is decreasing constantly. This could mean that traders are of the belief that a bottom is in sight and we're looking to store their coins offline for holding it for the long term. Typically, an increase in the amount of crypto indicates that people are preparing to sell, which is why they deposit their Bitcoin in exchanges. Exactly. When the amount of crypto in exchanges decreases, it suggests that people are less inclined to sell. This sounds like something Kamala Harris would say. We know all of these things. I'm not going to repeat them. I've just said them. As Bitcoin's value continues to increase, we expect more and more investors to prioritize security and control of their assets over convenience, turning to more decentralized custody solutions in an effort to ensure safety. Remember, there is a link to Ledger. There is a new Ledger out. Go and check it out. I am probably going to be buying my Ledger in the next few weeks. Right then, let us move on very quickly and see where we are. So, 66.3. Now then, we are stuck between a rock and a hard place. On Monday, I said we needed to break that circle. We did indeed not break that circle. So where did we come? Ladies and gentlemen, we came down to our bull market support band. Yes, we did. Now, over here, we had all of this range to play with. This was a huge playground to play in. Now, not so much. The gap between the bull market support band at 65.6 and the top here at 70,800 is a $5,000 gap. Back here, it was 61.5 to 72. It was an $11,000 gap. We've gone from an $11,000 gap to a $5,000 gap. Okay, something has to give. Now, there is a good chance that this could start to do this and come down. But it comes down very slowly. But something has to give, because at some point we can't keep doing this because we're going to run out of space. So what's going to happen is we are going to explode or implode. And as I have been saying for a few days now, if we stay in this channel, the downward spiral would take us to 54,000. We would break the top of the bull market support band at 65.5. We would break the bottom at 62.1, and we'd come down to 54,000. That's the worst case scenario, but all is not lost. Remember what we said on Monday, don't feed the bears. If we feed the bears will bite your hand off. So what we need to do is we need a bounce. And today, Chairman Powell, the hero of the hour, cometh the hero, cometh the hour, cometh the Powell. We are expecting him to come out. He's backed into a corner. He's not going to put interest rates down today. What he is going to do, and I've said this a few times, don't look at what they do, look at what they say. I am expecting Chairman Powell to be dovish today. If he is dovish, I'm expecting a mini move up. Now, the other thing to throw into this is that it is the last day of July, options expiry day. Do you want to know where options expiry have max pain, or whatever you want to call it? 67,000-ish. So, it would not surprise me to see this today. This little tiny stumpy wick to the upside. I'd expect us to be at 67,000 today. End of the month, 67,000 I think is the mid-range, so the shorts and the longs don't get destroyed. Powell's about to speak. He's got to be dovish. He's backed into a corner. Inflation is down. Unemployment is up. House prices are coming down. He's got nothing left to argue the case about. So there will be a 0% rate cut today. There is a 4% chance of a rate cut. So don't expect it to happen. In fact, if you look at Japan are starting to put their rates up as well, because Japan is finished anyway. Anyway, so that's enough for Bitcoin. There are your prices. I'm not expecting 54,000, but you know me, keep some cash on the side. Keep 5% of your money in cash. on the off chance that we do capitulate to the downside and Chairman Powell gets taken over by Elizabeth Warren and Powell comes out and tells everybody that crypto is terrible and we're going to put interest rates up, because that would bring the price down. So then Ripple's CEO Brad Garlinghouse criticizes the SEC for hypocrisy and lack of transparency. Good old Brad. We like Brad on this channel. He ripped into the US Securities and Exchange Commission for being hypocritical and inconsistent in applying the rules. And there's a lovely drawing of him, which doesn't really look a lot like him. The criticism came as a rejoinder to what the SEC did in its current lawsuit against them. The comments made Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse and social media platform X are some kind of rejoinder to earlier statements made by Gary Gensler, who said the rules are going to be very clear, and clearly they're not. It is the hallmarks of political agenda setting or some strategy regarding malicious litigation, not a bona fide irregular intent, and I totally agree. The SEC has sued companies over securities. We're going to go through that later on, so we're not going to talk about that. The reboot by Garlinghouse encapsulates the increasing sentiments from within the crypto community with respect to regulatory consistency. The chief legal officer, Stuart Alderotti, revealed that although claims these tokens by the SEC were dismissed, those very same tokens in other cases go unaddressed. That is because Gary has had his hands slapped by Sleepy Joe, and he has been told, clearly been told, to take your foot off the neck of crypto. And if you think that I am being overly conspiratorial, think of this. We didn't have an Ethereum ETF at the start of the year. We didn't have a Bitcoin ETF at the start of the year. We didn't have any ETFs at the start of the year. What year is it? It's election year. Democrats versus Republicans. The orange man versus the old man. Who is going to win? Is it going to be Harris? Is it going to be Trump? Well, clearly the Democrats have noticed that 50 million Americans have got some level of crypto exposure. So what they are trying to do is entice you to believe that the Democrats like crypto by allowing these ETFs. And it's put Gary Gensler in a bit of a tough spot because he's suing XRP. He has called ADA and Solana and all of these cryptocurrency securities, and he is stuck because he's been told to do one thing and now the government have told him to do something entirely different. So Gary is stuck, but we don't care because we don't like Gary. Anyway, this is massively bullish. For once, the chart is right. And for once, we have broken the levels that I have highlighted in the time I have said. We came down and tested the bull market support band. Check. We came up to the trend line and we found support at the trend line. Check. I'm going to put little ticks. 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 I then put this dirty great big X as the fib level that we needed to break, which was at 63.9 cents. We are above 63.9 cents for XRP. Something is cooking. Look at where XRP was on the 8th of July. It was at 42 cents. It has moved 50% in 3 weeks. 50% in 3 weeks. I've been calling this a stable coin for 3 years. It's moved 50% in 3 weeks. It needs a rest. Calm down, okay? Where are the next targets for XRP then? Now we have smashed through these targets. Well, we have different fibs. We also have this lovely line I've put in here, which I drew earlier, which is at 80 cents. We then have 97 cents and we have $1.30. Now, if the case closes, you would expect to see this kind of absolute God candle, okay? We've seen it here. This was the anniversary. Look at that God candle. That took XRP at the time from 47 cents to 93 cents. It went up exactly by 100%. Now, I'm not expecting it to go up by 100%, but if it did, it would go to $1.30. which is miraculously where I have my line on the chart, okay? So let me get this right. We went up 100% last time, hit 94 cents. If we do the same thing again, we're going to go to $1.30, which is exactly 100% from where we are now. So yes, I can hear the applause in the audience. Thank you. Thank you for the applause. However, we do have a lot of history to break. We've got to get past 80 cents. 97 cents was that previous peak there. And then down here, we've broken up. Remember, if this court case or if this behind closed door meeting doesn't go to plan, you know what happens, and that is that we tank. Okay, so expect XRP, if this has been adjourned yet again, expect XRP to come down to 53 cents. That's what's going to happen. We have to hold this fib level. We don't know if we're going to do it. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. Get rid of some of these lines now because we have drawn them. But that looks fairly bullish to me for XRP. And remember, I've been saying all over here, crypto shillfluencers have been telling you that XRP is dead. Don't listen to anybody you hear online, including me, tell you anything about crypto. They all have their own, in the words of one of our followers, hidden agendas. Okay? They are telling you here that it is dead. It's at 40 cents, it's dead. Well, funnily enough, now it's at 65 cents. So thanks for your brilliant commentary on XRP. However, one word of warning. When the court case finishes, if we just go for a really bullish scenario here, if the court case finishes, this is likely to happen to some extent. We are likely to see this, and then we are likely to see this or see this. Okay, this is your peak FOMO. This is where you take some profits. Don't sell it all, take some profits. If you bought it at 40 cents when we were talking about it, and it gets to $1.30, you've 3 extra money in, what, 3 weeks? Take some profits. Best thing you can do, okay? And then wait for it to come back down to these levels, and then buy some more, and you'll get more for your money than if you just hold them at $1.30. If we even get to $1.30, maybe we get to $1.10, maybe we get to $1.05. You know the point. The point is we're going to have massive news FOMO, and then it will subside. It happens every single time. Don't think it won't happen again. Now we have a contentious article to talk about, and I'm going to say, I'm not going to say the R word, I'm going to say the R letter. Peter has said, August tomorrow, maybe then we'll kickstart the bull run to the new level. Is it a good idea to dollar cost average Nero till the end of the year? I would dollar cost average Aero, sorry. Yeah, I certainly would. There is a big chance that base could be one of the really big winners in this bull run. It has everything behind it, in my opinion, and I do expect it to have a good bull run. If it has a good bull run, you need to look at what projects on base are really good projects. And if we get time at the end of the show, I'll have a look. But the ones that stand out to me are Brett, which is the meme coin, and Aero. So if I was going to put money into base, into the base chain, it would be Brett and it would be Aero. They would be my 2 bets on base. Tariq will sell all of his XRP at $1.30. Do you know what? It isn't a bad move. Remember, we're not, like I said, we're not married to these coins. And, I love Jupiter. I love Chainlink. I love Near. I love Matic. I do like XRP. I think long term it's going to do really well. However, what I love more is buying from Harrods or Fortnum and Mason or from Selfridges. I love that more. Okay? There are different levels of love. You are not married to a token. If XRP goes to $3 in this bull run, $5 in this bull run, I'm ecstatic. It can get to those prices if it gets towards $1 after this court case. If Chainlink starts to go north of $60, I'm going to start selling it because I think I was buying it at $6, something like that, okay? So I'm not married to anything. You're not married to anything. If Aero goes to $3 tomorrow, take a big chunk of cash out of it, okay? The same with any token, take profits. I haven't taken profits so far this bull run because I think we're not really in it yet. We've not hit peak FOMO. We don't have retail. I can tell you right now, we don't have retail. Our traffic is down over 50%, okay? And is that down to me being terrible? Am I just rubbish at streaming? Maybe it's me, okay? But according to the experts on traffic, most crypto streamers are down 90%. So when retail comes back, you leave, okay? You leave. You have been at the party since 9 o'clock. You've eaten the sandwiches, you've drunk the champagne, you've had the sausage rolls, you've had the kebabs, and you've had your fill. And it's 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, you've had enough, you want to go home, okay? You're off. Retail will be turning up at 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, wanting to party, and they are your exit liquidity. The retail is exit liquidity for you, okay? That sounds terrible, but think of it this way, it's not your problem. You have been in crypto when everybody's been laughing at you. Bitcoin's a scam, Bitcoin's rubbish, don't buy crypto. You're in it when the streets are running red, and you've stuck through some of the worst post-halving drops we've ever seen. You've stuck through a $17,000 Bitcoin and you're still alive and kicking. So at the end of the bull run, if you're still holding your bags and you haven't sold, you've not listened to a word I've said for 2 years, because you need to get out. And the only exception that I am personally making is I may not start to sell my Bitcoin to the extent I was going to sell. And I was going to sell every single last Satoshi. However, I want to see what happens when Trump comes in. I want to see what happens when blue chip companies start to buy Bitcoin, when nation states start to buy Bitcoin. And I've said this before, but this could be the last bull run. This could be the last major bull run in crypto. The bull runs are tied to the Bitcoin halving. If the Bitcoin halving has less and less effect, then we will have less and less bull runs because we will have less and less peaks. If Bitcoin, let's say Bitcoin goes to $250,000, that's a 4x from where it got to. If it then goes in the next bull run to $500,000, you've only made 100%. So where does the money come from to pump the rest of crypto? There's a problem, and it's not now, and it's not in 2026, it's in 2029. That's when the problem's going to occur, because you're going to have the same people buying all the bags and sitting there and waiting for the bull run, and the bull run never comes because it's going to be a damp squid. So this could be your last big chance to walk away with money, and that would be selling everything and taking all the profits. If we get anywhere near $800 to $1,000 on Solana, sell it. If you get anywhere near $10,000 on Ethereum, sell it. This isn't financial advice, by the way. This is my opinion. It's an entertainment show, but you get the idea. Take your profits. Don't hold on for another 10%. Dollar cost average out. Peter is talking here about dollar cost averaging into Aero. If you have tokens that you want to dollar cost average into, that means buying it every Friday, or the first Monday of every month, or every day at the same price. If you have $1,000, buy $100 of that token every week on the same day at the same time, and over a period of 10 weeks you'll get an average price. That's a good way to get in. But when you leave crypto, you should be selling in the same way, unless there's a massive spike, of course. You know, if Chainlink shot up to $120, I'd sell a lot. Of course I would, because it's gone past the price and the level I would expect it to get to. But if we're talking about it getting to $60 or $70, I'm going to be selling 10% of it every week. Even though my target might be $80 to $100, I'm still going to start taking profits earlier on. So you need the strategy for getting out. When Aero goes to $15, I will take profits. It's inevitable. I hope you make all of the money. I can't buy every token that I like. If I did, I would have 100 tokens. But they'll still be here in the next bull run. And if they're not, then I dodged, didn't I? So R turns to crypto to circumvent US S's. This is one of those really weird articles where I cut words out. Lawmakers within the region have greenlit a bill allowing the use of crypto in international trade. R may be making a U-turn on its stance on crypto. Certain aspects of the government's no crypto stance still stand, however. So, recent reports suggest that the lawmakers are becoming more open to cryptocurrency on Tuesday, which was yesterday. Bloomberg announced that legislators within the country passed a bill to regulate crypto assets as a foreign currency, allowing its use amongst businesses to facilitate international trade. The decision is in response to the increasing difficulty in foreign financial payment services because of what has been going on. I am not saying this is right or wrong, by the way. I'm just telling you what the article is saying. The revision will extend to the mining sector, which the government also previously opposed due to electricity concerns. This is the reason we talked about when China got rid of its miners. It didn't get rid of them, it just moved them to another country to use their electricity grid. So China still has a massive amount of skin in the game when it comes to crypto, because they now have their miners elsewhere and they don't have to worry about the electricity. Funny thing is, in Russia, it's covered in snow. And a couple of years ago, they were flying drones over these huge industrial complexes. And there's 100 different warehouses in these complexes. And then you would just see a random one with a completely clean roof with no snow on it at 3 o'clock in the morning when everybody's gone home. And it was so obvious where the crypto miners were in Russia. They all got raided, they all got shut down, and that kind of put an end to it for a time. Now they're starting to embrace it again, potentially because they can see the value in it. So it's going to take effect from the 1st of September, which is 5 weeks away, 4 weeks away. Again, it's like I was saying about Australia before. Australia, the ETF now has 100 Bitcoin. If this starts to take a few thousand Bitcoin off the table, again, buckaroo. At some point, that donkey is going to kick. And when it kicks, we're going to go to prices that nobody is talking about. Now then, we're going to move on. We've got 15 minutes left and we've got a load of stuff to talk about, haven't we? California, DMV building a blockchain on Avalanche for title transfers. The DMV has successfully digitized 42 million car titles on the Avalanche blockchain. The Department of Motor Vehicles, very nice. So there's 39 million residents and 42 million cars. And of those 39 million residents, the chances are that a good 9 million of them are under age or over the age you can drive. So everybody in California has 1.5 cars. Brilliant. The DMV has already successfully digitized 42 million titles. The title transfers will be mediated by escrow like Avalanche blockchain smart contracts, enable users to track and manage vehicle titles digitally. This could potentially reduce the need for physical trips to DMV. Absolutely. As consumers continue to demand more automation and expect the ability to transfer life online, widespread adoption of secure systems is possible with blockchain infrastructure. These systems have historically been accessible by large financial institutions but have done little for regular citizens. We believe that ultimately value transfer will be embedded within the system itself. So, of course, we talk a lot about adoption and interoperability. I'm going to talk about that in a minute when we get to Cycle Network. If you are watching now, do not go anywhere until you have seen me talk about the Cycle Network, which I will be talking about in a minute. It is a solution to one of the problems we have been talking about ever since we started this channel. We want adoption and we want regulation. And we've added a third one recently in the last 6 months, which is interoperability. And that is getting all of the chains to work together. Now, when it comes to car titles, this is a pilot scheme. It's a very big pilot scheme and it's on scale, but it's a pilot scheme. If it works in California, and it works, it will be rolled out to every single state in America and probably most other countries in the world. So AVACs are, in their own way, changing people's lives, removing the friction, making things more open and honest. Who owns what car? So this is a good thing. I know it's cars and it's title deeds, but it will go from cars to houses to everything. And at some point, I would imagine your own digital ID will exist online somewhere. Now, whether that's government controlled or not is a completely different conversation for a different time. But this is massively bullish for AVACs. Now, I do hold a little tiny bit of AVACs, and I have no idea how much I've got, but I think I bought it at Peanuts. I think I got it, like, let me have a little look at how much I bought AVACs for. I think I got AVACs around about here, which was about $12. I think I bought it then. I don't remember paying a lot for it, but anyway, beside the point. AVACs is at $26. It's a slow burner. It's stuck under the bull market support band. It's come up. It's failed. It's failed. It's failed. It's failed. It's retouched this. It's failed. It's likely to come down to here. If you want to pick up some AVACs, this is a good price. $21 around there is a good price. Look, it's where it struggled to break, it broke. So $21 is a good price for AVACs. I'm not married to AVACs. If I was buying AVACs at $21, I would be selling it in that range, and I don't really care how high it goes. You're selling it at $47 to $52. You're making a 150% profit. Take it and run away. Long term, of course, AVACs with all of these different title deeds on their system. It's big business for them. They're going to make a lot of money out of it. And as well as them making money out of it, California will make money out of it. Why? Because they'll employ less staff. They won't need offices as big as they've got, so they can downsize. So the state can be downsized. They will still probably charge the same fees to transfer the deeds that they charge today. There's the other con for you. So they're making your life easier, they're not making your life cheaper. So if it costs $100 to transfer the license, they will still charge you $100, even though they're employing 75% less people, even though their office is a quarter or a fifth of the size of it was, and they'll make more money. Again, they are not in here. They're not in this to charge you less. When banks start to use XRP, the XRP ledger, do you honestly think that your bank transfers are going to cost $1? No. Your bank transfers are probably going to cost $5 less, but the bank will be making $10 more per transaction. It's not about saving you money, it's about them making money. And that is something you have to bear in mind. And again, bullish for AVACs, this news gets out and people start to really onboard AVACs, then you could see $100 plus. But again, you can't hold every token. I think I've got $400 or $500, no idea. So the SEC is backtracking on security claims against Solana and other altcoins. Remember, what the SEC tried to do was basically create guilt by association. If I say something is a security often enough and nobody challenges it, you can claim that it is a security. There is some kind of legal name for it. The same way that if somebody starts to live in your shed and they live in your shed for 5 years and you do nothing about it, and then one day you want to remove them, and they will be able to argue in court that you were there for 5 years and you didn't say anything about it. And there is a legal name for it, and I don't know what it's called, but the SEC have been trying to do this in crypto for a long time. Solana is a security, ETH is a security, ADA is, they're all securities, okay? And they use the Howey test, but the Howey test isn't fit for purpose. It's not fit for crypto. So The SEC have tried to do this, and they've made themselves look stupid. Let's not make any bones about it. They've made themselves look stupid. Why? Because in my opinion, Solana is way more of a security than Cardano. Cardano is way more decentralized. I believe when this next hard fork happens, Cardano will be completely based on a DAO type system. The proof of stake system, everything about Cardano is a better blockchain than Solana. However, better does not mean it will win the race. The best football teams do not normally win the World Cup, especially Argentina, that clearly cheated the way to the final. But the point of the matter is that Solana is more of a security. There's no denying that. So when the SEC say, oh, you're all securities, it makes them look stupid because they don't care about the facts. It's a cryptocurrency, it's a security. Well, no, do your damn job properly. So they've dropped the case and they've removed the classification of Solana, Cardano, and Polygon as securities, and it's mentioned down here. And again, it makes them look stupid. But look at the tokens that they included: Solana, ADA, Matic, Filecoin, Atom, Sand, Mana, Algo, Axie, and Coty. Now, I'm going to say that I think at least 5 of them are securities. 5 of them are probably a little bit more decentralized nowadays, but I think at least 5 of them, if not more, maybe even 6 of them, I would classify as a security. They have a central body. They are issued by a central body. Yes, they all have proof of stake, fine, because it's either proof of stake or proof of work. But they fall more in the SEC's basket than they do in the Commodities Commission basket. So they are right, but again, by grouping them all together, they have watered down the impact of them saying these are securities. So they believe they've shifted the stance simply because, in my opinion, of the Democrats. Feels like they are not just trying to fight that specific battle in this case, but doesn't necessarily mean they won't fight it in another. I think that the SEC is on borrowed time. I think Gary Gensler is gone. Anyway, we're going to run out of time. So I've got 2 things to talk about. And this one is super important. Okay? I've got a question before I get there from Peter. How many Brett coins do I need to make $10,000 by the end of the bull run? What I'll do is at the end of this, I will go and I'll go and have a look for you. I'll go and have a look what I think. I will give you an idea of where I think the Brett market cap can go to. That might be an easier way to do it. So then, I was approached by Cycle and they asked me to review their project for them. So full disclosure, I've reviewed their project. I did not get any of their tokens because their token system is not live. They have, at the minute, a campaign. Okay, and that's not the reason I'm showing you this, by the way. It's irrelevant. I'm just telling you that there is an airdrop campaign on Cycle. I will leave a link on Telegram for you all to go and get it, or I will leave a link tomorrow on the other places. But anyway, beside the point, I'm not showing it you to tell you about the airdrop. So the problem is in crypto that we have people that use very clever words to explain things. Now, chain abstraction sounds like something you would have if you had multiple teeth taken out at the dentist. Okay? And I understand that. And this sounds super complicated. Bridgeless liquidity abstraction via chain abstraction sounds super complicated. And I get that. But it isn't. Let me explain something to you. Have you all watched Lord of the Rings? Probably the majority of you have. And all of these rings were made for men, rings were made for the elves, rings were made for the dwarves, and then one ring was made to rule them all. We all know that line from the film, yes? Now, Cycle is that one ring. At the minute, you would need 10 to 12 wallets to access all of your crypto across all of the different blockchains. It's a pain in the back. It's a pain in the backside. We've talked about this before. We've talked about the fact that if my mum was given a phone and I said, I'd like you to go and play one of these games on Matic, it's really cool, and I send her $10 on Solana, she can't do it, can she? Because it's on the Phantom wallet, and the Phantom wallet is a pain in the backside to connect to the Matic chain and get the $10 from Solana to Matic. It's a pain in the backside, okay? It can be done. It can always be done, but it's not seamless. And it's like I also use the remote control. When you had a satellite dish, way back when I was a lot younger than I am today and a lot less grey hair, your satellite dish would move to pick up the different signals. That's the stage we're at with crypto. Your satellite on a little tiny motor is having to move to pick up the signal. And what Cycle are doing, they have created, and I'm going to give you an example, they have created one platform where you can connect all of your currencies and tokens from across the different blockchains and have them in one place. They've done it with something called Piggy Bank. That just basically allows you to see your $10 on Matic, your $10 on the smart chain, your $20 on Solana, for example, and you can see them all in one spot. But not only that, you can move them. You could move all of those currencies to Solana. You could move all of those currencies to the Binance Smart Chain. You don't have to mess around with MetaMask, with Polygon on Phantom, going to Solana on Phantom. You don't have to do any of that. Now, only a little bit of it is built, admittedly. It's still not live. But the liquidity pools and the assets, you will be able to, I think it's on this front page, there. So you will be able to, and you know me, I have talked about this time immemorial, and maybe they watch one of my videos talking about it. Maybe they watch one of my live streams talking about it. You can play games, use DeFi, use the DEXs, move your NFTs, use the up-and-coming social Web3 apps that are being launched. You can use them from one place. So the One Ring will connect you to every blockchain, and it's all the EVMs, all the Ethereum blockchains. So it's all of the layer 2s on Ethereum and Ethereum. It's Solana, it's the smart chain, it's all of them in one place, right? I happen to think this is really cool, okay? So they've asked me to review it, and I've made a video about it. So I'm not going to talk too much about it. I want you to go and watch the video, because I think the issue is that we need to have cooler names, okay? We need to have cooler names. And we can't be calling things chain abstraction just because it's the technical name for it. You know, you've got toothache. I'm sure in dentistry, toothache has a completely different Latin name. But you don't go and see the dentist and he says, oh, you've got arbitrum camelocalicus in your tooth, does he? He says, oh, you got toothache. Root canal, probably calls something entirely different. It's the same with this. We shouldn't be calling things chain abstraction. We should be finding retail terminology that people can understand. Anyway, so go and check it out. It is cyclenetwork.io. I have made a video about it with all the links underneath, so go and watch that video. I did only make the video, I think, yesterday, and it was probably the hardest video I've ever made, simply because I was trying to find an angle that allowed you to understand what it was going on about, which I think I did. Anyway, Compound negotiates an end to the governance crisis. We covered this yesterday. I'm going to keep it very quick because I want to go and show meme coins for a second. We talked about how Humpy had enough comp to sway a vote and basically get them to send 500,000 comp to the Golden Boys, which would then give them complete control over the network. They have agreed to end their their kind of proposal, and they've come to a nice compromise. The issue is that they need to sort out, and all proof of stake systems need to sort out this DAO problem. And the DAO problem is very simple. The more you own, the more you vote, the more you control. And that is a huge problem for Solana, for Polkadot, for Ethereum, for every proof of stake system that has some level of DAO or proposals involved. It's a massive problem. And again, I call it naivety. A lot of these kids that run chains, they're very young. They don't understand how things can be abused. I am an old, cynical man. I know exactly how you can abuse things. The more power you have, the more control you have, the more you can get away with things. Thankfully, in this case, it has been fixed, but they need to stop it from ever happening again, in my humble opinion. Now, the question was, how many Brett do you need to make $10,000? Well, I'm not going to answer that question directly because I don't give financial advice. But what I will do is I will go down here and have a look at Brett. Now, Brett is coming in at 13 cents. I think 11 cents is a good price to buy Brett. So what would you need? 11,000? 111,000? No, you want it to go to that. So you'd be looking at a 10x to $1.20, 800, 8,000, sorry. I think you'd need about 8,000 Brett at that price. So you'd be looking at potentially 9xing. And the reason I say that is when you look at some of these coins, Doge is already an 18 billion market cap, Shiba is already 9.6, Pepe is 5.1. You're not going to see Shiba at $96 billion. You're certainly not going to see Doge at $180 billion. It's nonsense. Don't let anybody tell you that. If Doge gets to $1, it will have done miraculously well. But I don't think it's going to happen. Bonk is at 1.8 billion. That could probably do a 5x. 6x maybe. So aim for a $10 billion market cap. That's kind of where I'd be looking in this bull run. And if it exceeds that, good for you. Okay? Brilliant. I'm happy for you. And I mean that genuinely. Because you cannot go down this list and say that everything on here is going to become a 20 or 30 billion dollar meme coin, because it's not. And if you expect that, you're going to be sadly mistaken. Okay? If Brett goes to $1, you sell it. If Brett goes to 80 cents and does a 7x, I personally would sell it. I don't like meme coins, but I have to talk about them because they make up a quite a big chunk of crypto. So I have to talk about them. I can't just leave things out because I don't like them. That would be remiss of me. The only people I don't talk about are Polkadot and to some extent Ton. So look at having a target and saying, right, this meme coin is going to go to 10 billion. What could that possibly do for me? Well, that would be a 12x, 13x, 14x, something like that. And say, right, so I'm going to sell this token when it gets to $7.50. And if this goes to 10, that's going to have to do, let's say, 15x. So that's when that gets to 12 or 13 cents, sell it. That's how I would base it, as a rule of thumb. Because you're never going to be right. I am never going to be right. That's why I say don't listen to me. Do your own research means do it in your head. Where do you think a meme coin can get to? Do you think it can go to $200 billion? No. $200 billion is twice the market cap of Solana at this present moment in time. If Solana goes to, let's say it goes to 500 billion in this bull run. So Solana, the third biggest cryptocurrency in the world, is at 500 billion. And you are sitting there trying to tell me that you think Shiba is going to go to 1 cent and give it a 930 billion market cap. You need to understand the fundamentals of the market cap and how market caps work and how crypto works in a bull run. We have the Bitcoin cycle. We then will probably have an Ethereum cycle. Then we go into alts. Then we go into the chain links, the AVAXs, the Matics, the Cardanos, the XRPs. Then we might have a meme season where the money flows into memes. So it's not different money, it's the same money just swilling around. And some of these coins will rip, but they won't rip to $200 or $300 billion. They won't do that. So be careful. Take the money and run. I've got some bonk. I don't know what I paid for it. I've only got, I don't know, $100 a bonk. Believe you me, if it goes to 7 or 8 billion, I'm selling it. And I don't care where it goes to after that because I've taken my profit. If I can turn whatever I paid, $50, if I can turn it into $600, that's a 12x. I don't need more than that out of it. So thank you very much. My bonk has been sold. With Peter, if Peter wants to make $10,000 out of it and it gets to a valuation of $9,500, he should probably sell it. But that's his decision, not mine. Anyway, that is it for the show. We have finished. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We managed to finish the show 10 minutes early yesterday, but today we've run over. So thank you everybody. Take care. Brogan will be streaming tomorrow night, Thursday. He did Monday, he'll do Thursday. He's not streaming tonight. So the first person you will hear from again will be me, and I'm probably going to make a video today. I've already got the OG video out there, so go and watch that. And I'll see you all in the morning. Take care. Thanks, Peter. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Tariq. Thank you, everybody, for coming.